Hello, fellow members of the Midnight Society. Welcome back to another episode review from the show Are You Afraid of the Dark? Last time, we covered The Tale of the Crimson Clown, a Gary story about a nasty little kid who is scared straight by a menacing clown. Tonight's narrative, from Frank, is about a restaurant with a very popular soup that is hiding a dark secret. Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society, I call this Season 3, Episode 13, The Tale of the Dangerous Soup. We open on the gang going round in a circle admitting their biggest fears. Gary's afraid of heights, Betty Ann's afraid of the attic, Kiki's afraid of dogs. Wait, what?
I was bitten when I was a kid. Anytime I see one, I cross the street.
Then how do you explain this? That didn't look like fear to me. Seems someone's a liar face. Or, the writers just forgot. Anyway, Sam is afraid of birds, and justifiably so. I mean, birds are f***ing evil. I don't care what anyone says.
Weird.
Frank reveals the one thing that the others already knew, that he's afraid of the dark. But you know what? That's not what's important here, okay? Frank, what the hell are you wearing? I mean, I get the frayed sleeveless look because you're a rebel or whatever, but what's with the frayed neckline? I mean, I've never seen anyone attempt this look before, and to be honest, you're not pulling it off.
Hey, watch it, man!
When it comes time for Tucker's fear, he claims that he's not afraid of anything. Oh, please. I could cite multiple episodes where you're practically pissing in your pants, tough guy.
If you're here, then who's the guy with the hat?
Frank starts his tale by saying,
We've all got something that scares us, even though it shouldn't. There's nothing in the attic that can get you. A bird can't hurt you.
What are you even talking about? A bird can't hurt you? Have you never seen The Birds? And sure, that may be a work of fiction, but birds are dangerous, okay? They've got sharp beaks, claws, they can take down a f***ing plane, and don't even get me started about their weird obsession with children's breakfast cereals.
Just follow my nose. It always knows. Kellogg's Fruit Loop cereal with natural fruit flavors.
So chocolatey! I'm so
Frank says that his story is about fear, the kind of fear you have to own up to or it'll eat you alive. He says that fear can be a powerful weapon.
Did someone say fear?
Scarecrow, what are you doing here? This isn't a Batman video.
You can't just throw the word fear around and not expect me to show up. It's like catnip for me. You sure you don't want me to gas the children? We could see what the little one's really afraid of.
As fun as that sounds, they don't really need your help to be afraid of things.
Fine. But what about you? What do you truly fear?
Winged spiders.
What?
Look, I know they don't exist, but I'm not fond of arachnids or birds, and the thought of them having some sort of disturbing love child keeps me up at night.
Well, this got weird. Ta-ta.
Frank's tale begins on a Saw movie? Question mark?
I want to play a game.
Hey, come on!
We then transition to a POV shot of someone arriving at the Wild Boar restaurant where their hostess seats them. Wait, is that Neve Campbell? Oh, it is! Oh, wow! This, Scream, The Craft, horror just follows her around like a little lost puppy. Oh, sorry. I forgot Kiki's afraid of dogs.
I'm gonna smack you.
Inside this restaurant, we set a new record on the most adults featured in an episode, the previous being the construction crew from The Tale of the Guardian's Curse. A waitress tries to tell the couple that just arrived about the night's specials, but they say that they are only there for the soup. Who goes to a restaurant and just orders soup? I didn't even order just soup when I went to the Soup Plantation, which was apparently called Sweet Tomatoes everywhere outside of Southern California. Man. Rest in peace, Soup Plantation. Rest in peace. Inside the kitchen, we learn that each bowl of soup is $100, and that's in 90s money. Who is paying that much per person for a meal, let alone for a bowl of soup? And the couple we see ordering the soup want to order multiple bowls for the two of them, but they get shut down by a one bowl per customer rule. Can we meet the culinary wonder who is making this coveted orgasmic dish?
Your admiration of my humble fare is most appreciated.
Yeah, no, I'll be avoiding the hair soup. I mean the beard soup. soup. Be avoiding the soup. Seriously, bro. No hairnet? Gordon Ramsay would be having a field day.
Shut it down.
So it seems that our chef is none other than Frank's favorite character, Dr. Vink. And if you know anything about this nutbag, it's that this kitchen is not up to code.
I am not a nutbag.
We cut to another day where the hostess, Nani, is going through the restaurant's receipts when our other main character, Reed, shows up and says,
I'm looking for the wild boar.
You are in the building. Unless the restaurant is completely devoid of signage whatsoever, you should know where you are. And if you don't, I don't think you're wild boar material.
I'm sorry.
Dr. Vink introduces himself in the usual overdramatic fashion, claiming to be a chef. So is that chef doctor? Dr. Chef? I don't know. In either event, Reed is not impressed, which actually seems to excite the good doctor. Chef. Doctor. Inside the kitchen, Vink talks about how a chef is an artist, before taking Reed and Nani over to a boiling pot of what I assume is the ooze that transformed the Ninja Turtles, and offers Reed a taste. Reed does ask what it is before sampling, and Nani replies,
Specialty of the house, le potage dangereux.
The dangerous soup.
I'm sorry, but if someone shoved something called the dangerous soup in my face, I'd have a few questions before chowing down. Namely, why is it called the dangerous, keyword, dangerous soup? Fortunately, as a skeptic himself, Reed refuses to try the soup and gets the hell out of that place. The look on your face. I'll bet you thought it was over before it started. No! He gets peer pressured into tasting it, and he loves it, sealing his doom. He even asks for a second taste, which prompts the following response.
Try to sneak another, and I guarantee you'll regret it.
How does no one ever get stranger danger vibes from this guy? I don't care how cute Nev Campbell is, I would not be accepting a job from this man.
Interesting.
We cut to a montage of Reed working at the restaurant while Frank exposits how badly he needs the job. Ooh, we get to play my favorite game, the Wheel of Dysfunction. Why does he need the job so badly? My money is on sick parent at home that he takes care of. Come on, Daddy needs a new pair of shoes! No parents? Damn, this wheel. Gets me every time.
Perfect!
In Frank's narration, he says that the restaurant is an okay place to work, except that once in a while, someone would just quit without reason. Yeah, Frank, that's how every business works. People suck, okay? Anyway, we also learn that the restaurant is the most popular in town, and that while Reed has been working there, he's refused to let anyone help him. But, I mean, that didn't look like she was trying to help. It just looked like she was trying to walk by you when you reacted like she had the plague. You know what? I think I know what's going on here. He was probably threatened to stay away from her by Billy Loomis. And when Billy makes a threat, you listen.
Don't forget, stay to the side and don't go too deep.
Okay, I'll remember.
One day, around closing, Reed decides to help himself to another taste of the dangerous soup.
Did you taste my soup?
No, he didn't.
What the hell were you doing down there, creeper? Anyway, breaking the awkward silence is the waitress Jersey, who enters the kitchen yelling about how she doesn't do dishes. Nani and Reed use the opportunity to leave the kitchen, and Reed decides it's the right time to get something off his chest.
You've been really cool to me since I got here. And, I've been kind of a slug.
I'll say he has. A big slut. Flirting with everyone, sleeping his way around the kitchen.
I've been kind of a slug.
Wait, a slug? Yeah, that's quite a bit different than what I thought. But a slug how? Like, he's been slow? Because he didn't look that way in the montage. Maybe a slug has a different meaning in Canada? Well, whatever it means, Reed tells Nani that he's just not used to people being nice to him, and that she has been, so he's sorry for, being a slug or whatever. Also, I don't know if it's the script or Reed's acting, but something in this scene just isn't jiving for me.
So what, am I supposed to be impressed or something?
Meanwhile, in the kitchen, Vink tells Jersey that she's being transferred into the back because she is too loud for his guests, and she takes it quite well.
I'll show you loud!
In an effort to get her to stop, Vink says that she has misunderstood and that he was planning on making her his protege. He says that the secret ingredient to his soup is known only to a few, and that she has been chosen to join the ranks of the few and the proud. Wait, Isn't that the Marines?
You wanna watch with that stuff?
Vink opens a freezer door and tells Jersey to go in, though she claims there's nothing in there. Vink responds by saying,
I assure you, my secret lies within.
Seriously, why does anyone listen to this man? Once in the freezer, Vink tells Jersey to sit down. You know all those freezers with built-in chairs? Not suspicious at all. Jersey is hesitant to sit, but Vink convinces her by saying, Do it! Once seated, we see a repeat of the opening. The seat locks Jersey into place, and a little door opens, revealing a foam grotesque. Apparently, the grotesque knows what scares you, and what scares Jersey is a pendulum with a blade on the end of it. Really? That's her biggest fear? Someone spends too much time watching TV. Anyway, Reed and Nani hear the screaming and head into the kitchen to investigate. Jersey's fear trip has ended by the time they get there, resulting in...
What happened?
You were screaming.
I was?
Yeah.
Man, it's like I blanked or something.
But if they don't ever remember anything, why do they leave and never come back?
You're quite the tough one, aren't you?
Nani and Reed ask Vink what is going on, and he says that it's time to reveal to them the secret of his soup. He says that during his travels, he encountered a tribe that never had to fight because its enemies would fall victim to a magic statue they possessed that would feed on fear.
Go on.
Scarecrow, get out of here!
Fine, I'll find out the chef doctor's secrets on my own.
Vink says that the statue also drew out its victim's fear and the tribe would drink it. That is what Vink uses in his soup to make it taste so good. I'm not sure what turns me off more, having someone's fear in my soup or one of Vink's beard hairs. Anyway, Reed doesn't buy any of it, but Vink challenges him to try the freezer for himself. Nani wants to leave, but Reed says,
No. Someone's got to stand up to this guy.
Yeah, the police. If you go in there, you're just giving him what he wants. So Reed goes in there. At first, he is resisting the grotesque sway, but eventually Reed's fear is revealed. Also, Vink seems to be able to see the fears that are being brought to the surface of Reed's mind, implying there might be more going on here than what Vink stated about the statue earlier.
Very well.
It turns out that Reed was an orphan, because, of course he was. It's Are You Afraid of the Dark? Who are we kidding? Who was raised by a cruel uncle who may have physically abused him as a child. The image of the uncle appears in a coffin, inferring that the uncle is dead, but of course the corpse comes to life. Nani opens the freezer door to help Reed, which causes a very poorly rendered visual effect to fly out. Vink states that the grotesque grows stronger every time it feeds, and now it's out and free to feed on everyone. He seemingly rushes off to capture it, but shortly after he leaves, this happens. Oh no, a stretched image of the grotesque on the screen. Whatever will we do?
So what are you afraid of, tough guy?
The statue continues to torment Nani and Reed until they get separated and Nani ends up in the freezer. Reed tells her there's nothing in there that can get her, but she reveals that her biggest fear is of enclosed spaces, resulting in...
It's an illusion!
Shut down all the garbage mashers on the detention level, will ya? Do you copy? Shut down all the garbage mashers on the detention level!
Reed realizes that they need to face their fears, pitting him against his dead uncle once more.
You're not gonna hold me anymore!
Reed goes back to the freezer to find Nani safe and sound, telling her that he broke the spell by facing his fear. He then boldly claims,
I don't think Vink's gonna be making any more of his dangerous soup.
That's where you're wrong, my friend.
I like a good dark twist on an ending, but this leaves me confused. Was the whole statue escaping thing just a ploy by Vink? And if so, to what purpose? Does facing your fear negate the statue's power? If so, then the two really have nothing to fear from Vink and the statue showing up again at the end. And if it doesn't, why make them think that it did? The fear effect was working just fine on Reed to begin with.
Because giving hope and then tearing it away makes the fear taste so much sweeter.
Damn it, Scarecrow!
Sorry?
At the end of the story, Tucker says that it's weak because the room wouldn't work if you have no fear, like he does.
That's right. Nothing scares you, does it? Maybe you should be the first to, reach into the unknown.
Oh, I didn't know Frank was a Bene Gesserit. Okay, this is just your classic Gom Jabbar. Remember, Tucker, you must not fear. Fear is the mind killer.
Forget it.
Well, I guess he's not going to be the Kwisatz Haderach. After Tucker runs off, Frank reveals what is actually inside the box.
Exactly what Tucker's afraid of. Nothing.
Well played, Frank. Well played. The episode ends with Gary putting out the fire while the others congratulate Frank on f***ing with Tucker.
Very good. Awesome story.
Now for the review. This episode was a great way to end the season. We get a decent story with a dark ending and mostly solid acting. The only thing that really holds this episode back is the silly look of the grotesque.
It knows what scares you.
The setting here was a nice change of pace. The entire story takes place in the Wild Boar restaurant, which is the kind of set piece we've yet to see on the show. I do think the environment could have been used more effectively to play up the sequences with the fears, but overall it looked great.
And it's yours to experience.
The story is good, with only a few minor questionable details. Fear is something that everyone understands because everyone is afraid of something. The idea that a taste of someone's fear raises your pulse and blood flow, making it a memorable flavor, is clever. The only question I have is, does fear have a good mouthfeel?
I mean, excuse me. It's an embarrassment.
The scares in this episode didn't do it for me. I suppose if you have an issue with snakes, pendulums, being crushed, or slow-moving dead uncles, then there was probably something here for you. I found the scares rather pedestrian, and the look of the grotesque didn't really improve things for me. Younger me might have found some things in this scary, but nothing more terrifying than the color of that soup.
The flavor dances over the palate in a symphony of sensation.
The acting in this episode was mostly good. Jersey had a small role, but did well as the obnoxious waitress that is destined to be a victim. Reed is probably the weakest member of the cast, but my only issue with him is that he felt so inconsistent. There were times where he was acting it up and showing us some great emotion, but then there was also a lot of scenes where it just felt like a robot delivering lines. Nani was terrific. I mean, Nev's work here is very reminiscent of her later projects, proving that she's always had a knack for emoting and showing us what fear looks like. The adult acting in this episode was great. Regardless of how you feel about the character of Dr. Vink, Aaron Tager always brought big, crazy energy and gravitas to the role. As always, he was a joy to watch. And this was probably the most menacing Vink has ever been. Frank, have no fear, the tale of the dangerous soup meets the approval of the Midnight Society, and for the second episode in a row, at the time of recording this video, the Midnight Society members poll on this was 100% in favor of the episode, so my ruling stands. Great storytelling, Frank, but lose the shirt.
Hey, watch it, man!
I want to thank the following Midnight Society members for participating in this video's poll.
Fear toxin, sneak attack.
Why would you do that?
Sorry, all this talk about fear, I just couldn't help myself. Now, let's taste that fear.
Oh my god. Oh my god. The spiders are flying everywhere. I gotta. No. I gotta go. I gotta go drown myself in the ocean so they can't get to my corpse. Names are on the screen. What did you all think of Frank's story? Did you see it as a kid? Did you ever pay $100 for soup? And if so, what's wrong with you? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to check out the next episode, which kicks off Season 4, The Tale of the Renegade Virus. Until then, are you afraid of the dark?
I'll show you loud!
Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and a share. It really goes a long way to helping out the channel. Be sure to subscribe and click that bell icon to be notified when more Midnight Society episodes go up. Thanks, everybody.